It's that time of year again. Winter is coming, and with it, the age-old anticipation of what the season will bring. Across the country, people are pulling out their coats, prepping their homes, and of course, checking the forecasts to see what's ahead. Everyone's wondering what's in store. Will we be buried in snow, or will winter pass us by with just a chill in the air? The uncertainty has everyone talking, from city dwellers to rural communities. For generations, the Old Farmer's Almanac and the Farmer's Almanac have been our go-to guides for long-range weather predictions. These iconic publications have built a legacy of trust, tradition, and a bit of friendly rivalry. But this year, these two trusted sources can't agree on what winter 2025 to 2026 will bring. Their forecasts are more divided than ever, leaving readers scratching their heads. One warns of a classic, cold, snowy winter, the kind that brings blizzards, icy roads, and snow days for kids. If they're right, we could be in for a season of shoveling, sledding, and bundling up. The other hints at a milder, more manageable season, with above-average temperatures and more rain than snow. For some, that's a relief. For others, it's a letdown. This disagreement has people buzzing. Who should we believe? Social media is full of debates, and coffee shop conversations are heating up as everyone picks a side. The stakes are real. City planners, farmers, and families all rely on these forecasts for decisions big and small. From when to plant crops, to how cities prepare for storms, to planning winter vacations, these predictions matter. The difference between a snowy winter and a mild one can affect everything from the economy to our daily routines. Heating bills, school closures, and even local businesses all feel the impact. So let's dive into the details. What exactly are these almanacs predicting? And why are their forecasts so different? Is it science, tradition, or a bit of both? We'll break down their outlooks region by region, highlight where they clash, and see if there's any common ground at all. Plus, we'll explore the science behind their predictions. How do they come up with these forecasts, and what tools and data do they use? By the end, you'll have a clearer picture of what might be coming, and why even the experts can't always agree. Weather, after all, is full of surprises. Grab a cup of cocoa and get comfortable. Whether you're rooting for snow or hoping for a mild season, there's something here for everyone. Let's unravel this tale of two winters and see what the great almanac debate can teach us about the unpredictability of nature. It's going to be an interesting ride, so let's get started and see which forecast, if any, will come out on top. First up, the Old Farmer's Almanac, forecasting since 1792, is calling for a cold and snowy winter. Expect below-average temperatures across much of the U.S., time to check your furnace and stock up on blankets. Above normal snowfall is predicted for the Northeast, Great Lakes, and Upper Midwest. Great news for winter sports, but a challenge for commuters. Their map is awash in blue, signaling a sustained chill from the Rockies to the Atlantic. The coldest periods, late December through February. Their secret formula, mixing solar science, climatology, and meteorology, points to a robust, old-fashioned winter. Even the Southeast is in for a colder, wetter season, with more rain and chill than usual. For regions unaccustomed to snow, expect more rain and gray days. The message: this winter demands respect. Prepare for a return to classic, challenging conditions. Mother Nature isn't holding back. Now, the Farmer's Almanac, forecasting since 1818, offers a very different outlook. They predict a mild, dry winter for much of the country, especially the eastern half. Think extended autumn, not deep freeze. Temperatures will hover at or above normal, with less snow and more rain for places that usually see big storms. Their tale of two winters splits the country, colder and wetter in the west, milder in the east. For cities like Chicago, New York, and Atlanta, winter may feel like it barely arrives. Their secret formula, factoring in sunspots, lunar cycles, and atmospheric pressure, reads moderation for most. For many, this means easier commutes, lower heating bills, and fewer disruptions. But it raises a big question: how can two respected sources see such different winters ahead? Let's find out. Side by side, the almanac's forecasts are worlds apart, especially for the eastern U.S. This year, the contrast is sharper than ever, with each publication painting a dramatically different picture of what's to come. It's not just a matter of a few degrees or a stray snowstorm. It's a fundamental split in how winter will unfold for millions of Americans. The Old Farmer's Almanac warns of a cold, snowy season from the Great Plains to the Atlantic, with frequent Arctic blasts and heavy snow. They predict relentless winter storms, icy winds, and a season that could test even the most winter-hardened residents. For those living in these regions, it means preparing for shoveling, school closures, and the possibility of record-breaking cold snaps. The Farmer's Almanac counters with a milder, drier winter, fewer snowstorms, more temperate days. According to their outlook, winter coats might spend more time in the closet, and snow shovels could gather dust. Rain, not snow, may be the bigger story, with more days suitable for outdoor activities and less disruption to daily routines. In the Midwest and Ohio Valley, one predicts above-average snow and tough travel. The other, less snow and easier roads. For commuters and truckers, this could mean the difference between white-knuckle drives and smooth sailing. Local governments may either be bracing for overtime snowplow shifts or redirecting resources elsewhere. The Deep South, one says chilly and wet, risking frosts for crops. The other mild and dry, perfect for snowbirds. Farmers are left guessing whether to prepare for damaging freezes or expect a gentler season. For retirees and vacationers, the difference could shape travel plans and seasonal migrations. These aren't minor differences, they're fundamental disagreements about the entire season. The forecasts don't just diverge, they clash, leaving everyone from meteorologists to everyday families wondering who to trust. The implications are huge. Water supplies, agriculture, city budgets, and daily life all hang in the balance. Cities must decide how much salt and sand to stockpile, farmers weigh crop risks, and families plan for heating bills or winter escapes. Even within the same region, your winter could look completely different depending on which forecast comes true. Neighbors might experience wildly different realities, one shoveling snow, the other enjoying a mild afternoon walk. It's a meteorological showdown with real-world consequences. The debate isn't just academic, it affects how we prepare, how we travel, and how we live through the winter months. The only certainty? Someone's going to be surprised. Whether it's a sudden snowstorm or an unexpected warm spell, winter always finds a way to keep us guessing. Let's zoom in on the regions where the stakes are highest, and see how these dueling forecasts could play out where it matters most. In the Southwest, water is everything, and the almanacs split again. The Old Farmer's Almanac predicts a cool, dry winter for Arizona and New Mexico, raising drought and wildfire concerns. The Farmer's Almanac, meanwhile, calls for a colder, wetter season. Good news for snowpack, rivers, and ski resorts. For cities like Phoenix and Las Vegas, the difference between dry and wet is critical. It affects water supplies, fire risk, and the local economy. A dry winter could mean stricter conservation and more wildfire danger. A wet one brings hope for relief and a boost for tourism. The stakes here are about more than comfort. They're about survival and resilience. Which forecast will win out? Now to Texas and Oklahoma, where weather swings are legendary. The Old Farmer's Almanac predicts a colder than normal winter with Arctic blasts and higher heating bills. The Farmer's Almanac sees a mild, dry season, less stress on energy, more outdoor fun. For agriculture, a cold winter means extra precautions for livestock and crops. A mild one eases the burden but could worsen drought. The energy sector is watching closely. Cold means higher demand and prices, mild means relief. For families, it's the difference between bundling up and firing up the grill. These forecasts shape everything from daily routines to economic planning. The region's winter is a toss-up. Two forecasts, two very different realities. Only time will tell which story unfolds. Let's check in on the Appalachians and Florida next. In the Appalachians, the Old Farmer's Almanac predicts a snowy wonderland, great for ski resorts, tough for travel. The Farmer's Almanac expects a milder, drier winter, less snow, easier roads, but a quieter season for tourism. For Florida, the Old Farmer's Almanac warns of a chilly, wet winter, bad news for tourism and citrus crops. The Farmer's Almanac promises warm, dry weather, perfect for beachgoers and growers alike. The fate of these regions, and their economies, depends on which forecast proves right. For residents and businesses, the difference is huge, from snow days to sunny getaways. The tug-of-war between these predictions highlights just how much is at stake. Will it be a classic winter or a season of surprises? Let's look at what drives these dramatic differences. Why are the forecasts so different? If you've ever compared two weather almanacs, you might notice that their predictions for the same winter can be worlds apart. This isn't just a matter of chance, there's a fascinating science and a bit of mystery behind it. It comes down to how each almanac interprets natural cycles. These cycles are like the heartbeat of our planet, and each publication has its own way of reading the pulse. The solar cycle is one factor. More sunspots and solar flares can shift weather patterns, but experts disagree on the effects. Some believe increased solar activity means a milder winter, while others argue it brings more extremes. La Niña, a cooling of Pacific waters, often brings cold, stormy weather north and warmth south. But it's fading, making predictions tricky. As La Niña weakens, the atmosphere can become unpredictable, leaving forecasters with more questions than answers. The Atlantic multi-decadal oscillation and Pacific decadal oscillation are long-term ocean cycles that influence U.S. winters in complex ways. These cycles can last for decades, subtly shifting the odds for snow, rain, or drought. Each almanac weighs these cycles differently in their secret formulas. Some rely more on historical patterns, while others use cutting-edge data and computer models. One might focus on solar activity, the other on ocean temperatures. The result is a patchwork of predictions, each with its own logic and reasoning. The result? Two very different forecasts. One might call for blizzards, while the other expects a mild, rainy season. Long-range weather prediction is part science, part art, and no method is perfect. Even with advanced technology, nature keeps some secrets to itself. It's like two chefs using different recipes for the same dish. The outcomes can be wildly distinct. Each brings their own flavor, and sometimes a surprise or two. That's why even the experts can't always agree. Debates are common, and consensus is rare when it comes to long-range forecasts. The only thing certain is uncertainty. Weather, after all, loves to keep us guessing. So, how should you plan for the months ahead? The best approach is to stay flexible, keep an eye on updates, and prepare for a range of possibilities. Here's what you can do. Get ready for whatever comes your way, and remember, sometimes the best forecast is to expect the unexpected. With two conflicting forecasts, the best advice is simple. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Get your furnace checked, winter gear ready, and emergency kits stocked, just in case. If you're a skier, gardener, or traveler, have a plan A and plan B. Remember, almanacs offer broad seasonal themes, not day-to-day details. Your local meteorologist is still your best bet for short-term forecasts. Use the almanacs for the big picture, but stay flexible as the season unfolds. This clash of predictions is a reminder that Mother Nature always keeps us guessing. Embrace the mystery, prepare for surprises, and enjoy the ride. Whether it's a winter wonderland or a mild season, you'll be ready. That's a look at what's ahead. Stay curious and stay warm.